Okay, I'm going to demonstrate to you the beta of HackHouse Remote. It allows you to use, I'm sure these names are trademarked, so I'm just going to say that up front. They're owned by whoever owns the trademark, uses universal devices, ISY99, ISY99 to control Insteon devices. Anyway, after you install it using the link in the forums, I have a BlackBerry 8310 on the AT&T network, but it should work basically with any kind of BlackBerry that has operating system or firmware, whatever you want to call it, 4.5 or higher. We may have to mess around with it a little bit to get it to work on everybody's BlackBerry who's interested, but we'll worry about that when the time comes. So anyway, come over here and you find the icon that it installs. Basically everything is subject to change. This is the very first release, and I'm running out of time, so I'm just doing a video. So you fire this guy up. You can see the beta software is going to expire because I don't want to have to worry about dealing with older versions. So this is the first beta of the first version, and it expires on February 1st of 2010. And the first thing you're going to have to do is click on the menu key, come down and say server data, because you're going to have to put in your machine. Now I'm running this on BlackBerry Simulator so I can get good screenshots, so it has access to my local network. But normally in this box you put in your fully qualified host name that you're assuming your ISY is set up to use HTTPS. At this point the software can probably handle HTTP, but I'm not going to worry about testing it. You can check the checkbox there that says use HTTP. This guy right here, I'm assuming my mouse will show up on the video. So the first person that wants to try HTTP can check that. I'm going to just use my not fully qualified because I don't want you guys to use this video to hack me. So I have my ISY set up using that name, and the username should default to admin on the screen. If not, type in whatever username you're using. Type in your password. And then you can check this if you're using HTTP in your Brave. Now down here, as some of you people know with BlackBerries, there's a bunch of different connection options that BlackBerries have. These are default ones that you should probably use. This line, if you have anything in this line at all, it has to start with a semicolon, and there has to be no spaces in it according to the BlackBerry documentation. And everything has to be separated by a semicolon. There are some other options in here. I'll post in the post for this. Some carriers make you use an APN to the internet, so you have to put the APN host name and username and password or whatever type of information here in order for your BlackBerry, in order for this program to use your connection that's provided by your carrier. Oh, that's a mouthful. So we get all this stuff filled out. Come down here, click OK. So the very next thing that's going to happen, you got your username, password, host name all populated, and you're good to go with your connection information. Hit the menu button again, and now at this point you can come down here and say get nodes. And what this will do, it'll go out and, well, here's the first time we're doing this connection. I have an untrusted certificate, so you can say continue, continue, and it should go out and pull for all of my Insteon nodes and automatically populate them in here. So what will happen at this point, this is actually running on my network. It actually did that. I'm not faking this out. If you want to do any kind of troubleshooting, you can come down to this menu option that I haven't talked about yet called Show Output. And when that's enabled, it changes to hide outputs. It turns it back off. So, but what that lets you do is see the response that you get back from your ISY from the REST command that gets sent, from the thing that gets sent request. So let's say we want to turn this off. You click on that and you get a box that pops up, and it's nothing fancy at this point. It just basically uses the REST commands. D-on is of course on, bright, off, and dim. So let's say we're going to turn on our office scene. So we're going to click on. I have the show output turned on. So click on that, and we're going to continue, and we're going to continue, and we should get a pop-up that shows here's the response back from the web server built into the ISY that says it succeeded. If you don't want to see that every time, you can just leave it at the default. So if this says show output, it's not going to show the output. It's the way the menu switches back and forth. You guys can figure out what I'm trying to say there. I'm not going to get technical. There's one more menu option on here, delete. Sometimes there's certain options, certain nodes that you might not want to have show up on here. This is also hard coded at this point to ignore the 2 through 4 buttons on a device, or the 1 through 4 buttons on a device for like the keypad links. I'm not doing it really elegantly. I've got a better way to do that, but I wanted to get this released before Christmas so people could have fun during the holidays playing around. Let's say we want to delete my meeting though, because that could be a real dangerous one. If you do it by accident, you could turn everything on your Insteon network on or off. So let's say we want to delete that. So you click Menu, click Delete, confirm that you want to delete that guy. Yep, done. And now this saves it in the storage on your device, so you don't have to do this every time you start the program up. One other thing you want to consider in order to not see all those, if you're not using a trusted certificate, which most of us, let's face it, most of us probably aren't, unless you got, I can't afford to buy a certificate for my network just to control my lights. And now my BlackBerry is through my company. I probably shouldn't say that on YouTube, but it is. And so their IT policy does not let me store trusted certificates in the certificate store. So some of you guys can, you notice there's options on those dialogues that come up so you can trust the certificate forever and not have to deal with that every time. But what I have to do on my real BlackBerry is come over here to Options and go to, is it Advanced? No, it's Security Options, and then go here to TLS. Yeah, that's not it. Is it certificates? No. Maybe it's Advanced Options. Anyway, I'll try to post the link on that. I don't want to have to redo the video. There's something in here you can do to tell it to always the certificate and not prompt for it. I'll try to post that information in the forum. Anyway, I hope you guys can use this software on your BlackBerry and have fun with it. That's the goal behind this. I don't know what the future is going to hold for it, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. If it's going to be free, if I'm going to sell it, if I'm going to open source it, if I'm going to just drop it. So kind of depends on how you guys react to it. So give it a shot, post me a message, let me know how it works, and hope everybody has a Merry Christmas. Thank you very much.